You know, one of the chief arguments I hear against having a large family is, how can you afford it? But that's kind of a misnomer. If you think about it, it's a complete red herring. Children cost absolutely nothing to make. All right? Seriously, a lot of people make children without costing anything at all, not even a bottle of wine. I'm just saying, it costs literally nothing to make them. What it does cost you is time. And in terms of the eating and the feeding and the clothing and the housing, a lot of that stuff depends on the culture in which you find yourself. I mean, for instance, growing up here in the West, it was generally presupposed that each child should have his or her own room. And when we first started out, we had 1, 2, up to 3, we had enough rooms in the house for each child to have their own specific bedroom. What we found happening was that the kids would gravitate and they'd end up spending the night in each other's rooms anyway. And then you've got the added cleaning of having clothes and toys and all these things in different places. What we decided to do when we moved into our current home is consolidate. All of the kids sleep here. All of the toys go there. And then as we started having, our first 4 were boys. And then as we started adding girls into the mix, we had a boys' room and a girls' room. And what ended up happening, and if you think about it, it's genius. The kids just sleep and keep their clothes in the one room. And then all of the toys, all that other stuff go in a different room. You want a separate, this is my toy, don't play with this without my permission. You have a special bin. And they're not allowed to go into somebody else's special bin without permission. What then happens in the evening time is when the kids go to sleep, every night is like a slumber party. I don't know if you ever had slumber parties when you were a kid, if you had people come over to your house or if you went over to their house, but they are fun. You get to stay up late, you talk, you dream together, you play together, and we've been encouraging that with our kids from the very beginning. And what we found out along the way is that it's very helpful in them developing as people. They learn how to work things out on their own. They learn how to communicate well with people, and they have fun. And a lot of, childhood, really, if it's just about keep things clean, keep things neat, you must do this, you must do that, that's not fun, okay? I like having fun myself with my kids. The kids apparently like having fun with each other. Every single night is a slumber party, and, 7 children later, I've got absolutely no regrets about the way we've done things. Honestly, I wouldn't mind having a couple more running around the house. What's neat about the house itself is that although we have space here, the basement can accommodate more bedrooms. What we've done is we've kept things consolidated, and our oldest moved out and bought his own house when he was 19. Our youngest moved into his bed, and now they're talking about, once the next one moves out, who's going to get that primo spot at the bunk bed. It's just, it's fun to watch the kids growing together, and that's something that misses out when the kids are constantly segregated into their own private space. I mean, obviously, it's part of a bigger problem, I think, in our society, that people are generally disconnected from each other. They have cubicles at work. I mean, they don't even work together. Even though they might be sitting 3 feet away from somebody, they have no human connection. And at least we can do it at home. The kids have that human connection with each other every single night. Slumber parties for siblings. Think about it. That's my 2 cents. I'm Steve Floyd, and this is my blog, whatever you want to call it here, this podcast. If you like what I'm doing, consider becoming a supporter either by Patreon or by a direct subscription at my website, radiofreespeech.com. And if you've got a suggestion for me, either for something you'd like to hear me comment on or a news tip, send me an email, steve@radiofreespeech.com. Thanks.